What's up everyone, I'm back with another video. Now this video is going to be for you guys who are trying to get into roleplay on RageMP but you're not sure what server you want to get into. Now I got you guys because I'm going to be listing the most popular English roleplaying servers on RageMP right now in late 2021, and I'm also going to be dropping two of the most hyped up upcoming servers that are also going to be coming out in possibly the near future. So stick around for that and let's get right into the video, guys. Enjoy. Starting the video off, RP servers in RageMP pretty much come into one out of two categories. First off, we've got the voice roleplay servers, which is the most common one. Then voice RP is appealing to people who they want to have fun but they aren't looking to be too serious with what they're roleplaying. It also generated a lot of hype from roleplay streamers that predominantly plays on these kind of servers. For example, if you guys know NoPixel from 5M, that's probably one of the most popular voice RP servers on that platform. It's going to be very similar to that concept. Now most voice RP servers are more leaning towards light RP, not only because it's easier to get into as a new player, but it's also easy to follow from the perspective of a stream viewer. Now this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's something to keep in mind. Now the second category is going to be the text roleplay servers, which are less common nowadays. These servers are a bit more old school and pays a lot of homage to GTA San Andreas SAMP RP servers. In general, it follows the same format but in the modern setting on GTA 5. Our text RP servers generally follow a heavier setting when it comes to their roleplay and focuses more on detailed characters, character development, realism, things like that. Now the downside to this is that it can be a bit more intimidating for new players to join, and it is less of a spectator experience when it comes to streaming, and people who aren't familiar with what RP is generally going to have a hard time following and keeping up and understanding with what's going on. Great, now that we got that out of the way, I'm gonna start by listing some of the most popular voice RP servers. Now first off, we've got a server that I used to be involved as well, which is Eclipse Roleplay. If you scroll down far enough on my channel, then of course you're gonna find my ECRP videos. Now Eclipse is the most popular RageMP voice RP server at the moment, averaging at around 300 players on peak time. Now of course this is only valid if you count the English RP servers on RageMP. Obviously there are a lot of other larger Russian and German RP servers on Rage, but for the English ones, when it comes to voice, Eclipse is still the biggest. Now Eclipse is a very old server which has its upsides and also its downsides. The script is very well done in my opinion due to the amount of time that the server has been out, but the economy is very challenging for a new player to get into because mostly good assets like businesses and houses, well, they've all been hogged by the players that have been around for years. So if you're just starting, then it's gonna be a rough start. Now Eclipse is both voice, text and voice, which means you can interact with other players outside of OOC and emotes using text as well. Now I'd say Eclipse is a pretty good light RP server for new players to get into. They have an excellent UI that's really easy to understand and it's also interactive. But the gameplay on Eclipse resembles more of an RPG than it does for a roleplay server. Almost everything on the server needs to be grinded in order for you to get it. There's a very large PvP and winning mentality from the players there. So it's not really about how interesting of a story you're making, but it's more about who has the most stuff and who's winning the most. That being said, because of that, character development for the most part takes a backseat on Eclipse. Not saying that you personally can't create a detailed character, but it most likely will be flooded by poorly done quote-unquote characters that are more OOC profiles than proper characters. Now the second most popular voice RP server is Mafia City Roleplay, or MCRP. Now MCRP came out in late 2019 and directly competed with ECRP. I remember a lot of around that time, a lot of players from ECRP started moving on to MCRP. Though to be fair, they did come back after a while. However, that was because MCRP had a bit of a rough patch. Though recently, I heard that they've been trying to get the server back up to its prime, and now it's reportedly has the same amount of players as ECRP on their prime time. Now, MCRP is an exclusively voice RP server, which means text is only used for OOC and emotes. This is a lot closer to what 5M is, 5M Roleplay is, compared to what ECRP is. Now, MCRP does have a lot of similarities with ECRP. It also has an interactive approach to their UI that's easy to use and easy to get into. It's not that confusing. It's very in line with other modern games. Now, MCRP is still a very good alternative to ECRP if you don't want to play on that server, but you're looking for a similar experience. Now, though I haven't played actively on the server yet, there are a lot of ex-ECRP players that I know that are playing on MCRP, and so far their reviews of it have been pretty good, so I'm gonna take their word for it. So yeah, if you already had experience playing on ECRP, like a lot of people, then MCRP is definitely a server you can get into without relearning a lot of the core mechanics. Alright, that's gonna be it for voice RP servers. Now I'm gonna be moving on to the English text RP servers next. Without a doubt, the biggest text RP server right now on RageMP is going to be GTA World. Now, GTA World has been around for a very long time as well, much older than servers like MCRP. On peak time right now, there's around 600 players online concurrently on GTA World. Now, GTA World is a heavy RP server, which means it won't be for everyone. It definitely has a harder learning curve for new players just getting into this server or roleplay in general for the first time. By heavy RP, this means that your character will be a heavier emphasis than that on light RP servers. You're gonna have to portray an actually realistic and believable person instead of a more fantasized one. This doesn't necessarily mean that GTA World is perfect though. There's still a lot of flaws in the server itself, and that doesn't discount flaws in the character portrayal of the players there. Now, some scripts on GTA World is still very old school, such as a UI-less inventory system that uses text instead of what ECRP and MCRP offers. Now, this is very in line with how SAMP was back in the day, where you'll have to see what items you have on your person through text instead of through images or UIs. Now, for a new player, GTA World can be very devastating with its punishments, with jail times that range over the span of days and rules that are very much stricter than other servers, like forcing you to roleplay car crashes. Now, that being said, currently there isn't really another server that offers what GTA World does offer in terms of realism and RP quality. If those are what you're looking for and you're willing to put in the time to understand how the community at GTA World works, then you should go ahead and try it. I definitely recommend it. At the moment, it is my favorite server to play on. Now that we're done talking about the servers that are already existing, I'm going to be talking about two servers that are going to come up in the near future with a lot of hype backing them up. I'm sure if you guys have been keeping up with the roleplay servers on RageMP, the ones that's going to be coming out, you've heard about these servers already. Now, the first one I'm going to be talking about is Vital RP. Now, Vital RP, I would include that in the group alongside ECRP and MCRP at the voice roleplay servers. In fact, Vital RP seems to want to compete directly with ECRP. Nearly all of the staff members there are familiar faces from ECRP, and they've been players on that server in the past, including the server owner himself. Now, the features that have been shown so far have been pretty similar with ECRP, including the factions that they're going to introduce. I've browsed their forums already, and they got a list of factions that they're going to be introducing at the launch of the server, and I can tell you right now, almost all of them are word by word the same as the ones in ECRP. Now, this may seem like a good alternative for those of you who like the ECRP style of RP servers, but for whatever reason you don't want to play on that server anymore. Now, as for the release date, there's currently no set time, which has been a great point of criticism, as a lot of people has been calling it a server without an actual server. Now, whether it'll actually come out or not, I can't tell you that for sure right now. But if you are interested about Vital RP, then you can always join their Discord server and browse their forums and see what's going on. I do see that they post periodical updates on YouTube as well. So I'm gonna be dropping some links in the description alongside all the other servers for you to check out. Now, the final server on this list, which is still upcoming, is one of the legendary servers from the SAMP days, which is LSRP5. It's going to be an upcoming text-based roleplay server, which is a nice change of pace because almost all of these new servers are following the voice RP kind of line. Now, LSRP used to be arguably the most popular English SAMP role-playing server. Not long ago this year, their SAMP server unfortunately had to shut down due to lack of interest, and their focus completely shifted to LSRP5, which is supposed to come out on RageMP, planning on the final quarter of 2021, so that's hopefully going to be soon. Now, LSRP is going to introduce a lot of familiar faces from their SAMP server. I've heard their staff team is going to have a lot of people who used to be in the SAMP staff team and are now going to be in the LSRP5 server as a staff team there as well. Now, this also includes your own account. If you've already played on the SAMP server, you're going to have access to your old account. You're going to be able to migrate that onto LSRP5. Now, LSRP was initially planned to be released summer this year in 2021, but it was unfortunately delayed. Now, whether they're going to make their new deadline, it's yet to be seen, but hopefully they're going to have a smooth launch. The deadline is very close, so we're going to see in the very near future for LSRP5. I personally know a lot of people who are eager to try out LSRP5, who've previously moved to GTA World after SAMP LSRP shut down. It's gonna be it's supposed to be very similar with how the old server was. So if you are interested in reliving those SAMP roleplay days, or you're just looking for an alternative from GTA World, definitely keep up with LSRP5 and see what it has to offer when it comes out. Alright guys, that is it for this video. Thank you very much for watching until the end. I hope this helped you out in choosing a decision when you're trying to get into roleplay. Now keep in mind, you can always play on multiple servers at the same time, so it's not that big of a deal if you're really thinking about it. Just choose one and see if that works out for you. If it doesn't, then move on to the next one. Now, I do want to let you guys know, if you're interested in watching the unedited background footage that I had during this video, I am going to be linking a video to that in the description in case you guys want to check that out. Now, as always, my comment section is always welcome for suggestions, any feedback that you guys want to let me know. I'll always try and reply whenever I can. And that's it for this video, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one.